I woke up that morning in my sister's body, 9 months pregnant and alone in her cramped Brooklyn apartment, with the metallic taste of revenge already burning on my tongue. My husband, our husband, in this twisted reality, had fucked her raw, knocked her up, and drained our joint savings like it was his personal ATM, all while I rotted in a psych ward under his orders, labeled unstable after I caught the mid-act. But the real shocker? The body swap wasn't some cosmic accident. It was his doing. A black market experiment to bury me alive in her skin. And now, as her swollen belly kicked with his bastard child, I was going to make him pay in ways that would shatter his perfect Hamptons facade. Those first kicks from the baby inside me, her body, my prison, felt like tiny fists pounding out the rhythm of my unraveling life. I stared at the ultrasound photo pinned to the fridge, the grainy blob labeled Baby Thompson, and laughed. A hollow, bitter sound that echoed off the peeling wallpaper. It had been 3 days since the swap, since that quack surgeon in a Jersey back alley clinic flipped the switch on whatever Frankenstein tech my husband, Victor, had cooked up with his shady biotech connections. For us, Layla, he'd whispered before the needle hit my vein, his eyes gleaming like a shark's. To fix everything. Fix what? The fact that he'd been screwing my little sister, Mia, for 2 years? Or the secret he'd buried deeper than our life savings, the hidden run he'd pinned on me 5 years back, when he plowed through that family on the FDR Drive, and I took the fall to protect his rising star in the pharma world. I heaved myself up from the sagging couch, Mia's body protesting every inch, swollen ankles, aching back, the constant pressure like a boulder rolling downhill. At 28, I'd been a lithe yoga instructor in Manhattan, trading sun salutations for this bloated vessel. Her 24-year-old frame stretched taut over Victor's mistake. I waddled to the mirror, tracing the unfamiliar curve of her jaw, the freckles I'd always envied splashed across her nose. "Hello, beautiful," I muttered, my voice, Mia's voice, coming out soft and southern-tinged, a remnant of our Georgia roots we'd both scrubbed to fit New York's grind. God, she was pretty, even knocked up. No wonder Victor couldn't keep his dick in his pants. The betrayal hit fresh every time I moved, like salt in a stab wound. We'd met in college at NYU. Victor the charming pre-med hotshot with family money and a silver tongue. Me the wide-eyed art major who thought love was forever. He proposed on the Brooklyn Bridge at sunset, ring glinting like a promise. We built a life. My studio in Chelsea, his corner office at Apex Pharma climbing to VP by 30. Mia crashed in after Mom died, our anchor gone. Dad long vanished into bourbon bottles, and I let her stay. Shared my closet, my secrets. Family first, I'd say, blind to how Victor's eyes lingered when she bent to tie her sneakers. It started small, late nights at the office, her giggles filtering through our brownstone walls. I confronted him once, after catching a whiff of her vanilla perfume on his collar. Business stress. Babe, he gaslit, pulling me into bed with that killer smile. Then the accident or his accident. Drunk on victory after closing a deal. He wrapped our BMW around a guardrail. But it was worse, pedestrians. A mom and 2 kids crossing against the light. He swore it was dark. A fluke. But the CCTV? Blurry enough to frame me if I confessed to driving. You love me, Layla. You'd do anything. So I did. Pleaded guilty to vehicular manslaughter. Got 3 years probation. Community service that tanked my studio. He rose, I crumbled. And while I scraped by on Uber gigs, he funneled our nest egg, every penny of my inheritance from Mom, plus his bonuses, into Mia's Fresh Start Fund, which was code for their love nest in Queens. The pregnancy test? I found it in his briefcase. Positive and damning. Dated 3 months after my confession. He'd played me like a fiddle. And when I snapped, storming his office, hurling the test at his glass desk, he called the cops. My wife's unstable. Officer. History of mental breaks. Straight to Bellevue. Doped on antipsychotics that turned my screams to whispers. That's when he pitched the swap. Apex's experimental neural transfer. Black budget stuff for billionaires cheating death. We can start over. Layla. You in a new body. No baggage. Mia's infertile.
See?
This kid's ours. Liar. Tests I'd hacked from his email showed Mia was fine. He just wanted me out of the picture.
Now.
Here I was. Her. Pacing the linoleum. Phone in hand. Victor thought I was catatonic in a padded room. Mia blissfully ignorant in my old skin. Probably sipping mimosas in our Chelsea loft. The irony? The swap was meant to be reversible. But he'd forgotten the code. Or so he claimed in the pre-op haze. I knew better. Time to play his game. I dialed the one ally I had left. Jax. My ex-con artist buddy from art school days. Now a freelance hacker in Bushwick. Layla?
Shit.
You sound different. I spilled it all. Voice cracking on the details. He whistled low. Body swap? That's some sci-fi bullshit. Victor's got reach. Feds on payroll.
But yeah.
I can dig. By noon. He'd emailed a dossier. Victor's offshore accounts. Siphoned dry to the tune of $450,000. Laundered through Mia's name. And the kicker, a clinic file on the swap. Stamped, irreversible prototype. Bastard planned to leave me trapped forever. Rage boiled. Hot and clarifying. I wasn't going back to that ward. Not as me. Not as her. First move, infiltrate. I texted Victor from Mia's phone. Fingers trembling, miss you.
Daddy.
Baby's kicking. Come over tonight? His reply pinged instant. On my way. Angel. Brought takeout. Angel. The word curdled my gut. He arrived at dusk. Armani's suit rumpled from the drive, arms loaded with tie, and a bottle of Napa Cab. I opened the door, forcing Mia's shy smile, heart hammering as he pulled me, her, into a kiss that tasted like mint and deceit.
God.
You glow, he murmured, hands sliding to the bump. Our bump. In this nightmare. We ate on the couch. Him prattling about board meetings. Me nodding. Probing. How's Layla? I asked.
Casual as pie.
His fork paused midair. Sedated. Docs say it's for the best.
She.
Snapped.
Lies.
But his eyes flickered guilt or calculation. As night deepened, he led me to the bedroom, hands greedy on the maternity nightie. I let him, bow rising, memorizing every flinch, every gasp. Midway through, as he thrust with that entitled rhythm, I whispered, "Tell me about the accident."
Vic.
The real one. He froze, buried deep, face paling. What the fuck? Mia? I locked my legs around him, nails digging into his back. It's me, you prick. Layla. His eyes bulged, terror raw, before he shoved off, scrambling for pants. Impossible. The transfer failed on purpose. I sat up, sheets pooling, Mia's body a weapon now. Jax has your emails. The money trail. The kid's not hers, it's yours. And you framed me for your kill. He lunged for the door. But I was faster, grabbing the lamp cord like a garrote. Not to kill, no. Too merciful. Just to bind. To hold him while I monologued the hurt. You stole everything. My freedom, my face, my future. But this, I pressed a hand to the belly. This is leverage, he begged then. Silver tongue turned to mush. Babe, listen, we can fix it. Another procedure. I'll give it all back.
Lies.
I knew from the file. One-way ticket. Dawn broke as I zip-tied him to the radiator. His phone buzzing with Mia's text from my body. Where are you? Feeling weird. Phase 2. The swap's echo. Turns out, neural links left backdoors. Jax confirmed it. A jolt from the clinic's remote app. And boom. Temporary flip. I'd slip into him next. Make him feel the cage. But first, the controversial call. I dialed Mia's number, my old one. Sis?
It's me. Her voice.
In my throat.
Cracked.
Layla? What the hell's happening? Truth bomb. The affair. The theft. The swap. She sobbed.
Denied.
Then rage. He said you were crazy. Allies secured. Victor watched, trussed and terrified, as I plotted aloud. We're ending him. Not with blood, with ruin. American justice, slow, public, poetic. By noon, Jax arrived with a duffel, burner laptops, fake IDs, a vial of Apex's prototype sedative, Victor's own design. Irony thick. We dosed him light. Enough to slur but not sleep. Then I drove us to the clinic in his SUV. Mia's belly strapped in like a bomb vest. The doc, a weaselly type named Hargrove, blanched at the door. Mr. Thompson? This unscheduled, Jax's Glock, rented from a Queen's contact, silenced him.
Inside.
Amid humming servers and 4 stands, we jacked Victor into the chair. Your turn to vanish, I hissed, initiating the backdoor code. The machine whirred, light strobing, and for a split second, I saw it, his mind fracturing, memories bleeding. But the twist hit as the transfer locked, not into oblivion, but into the baby. Unthinkable. Controversial as hell. Apex's failsafe. A fetal link for legacy preservation. Victor's consciousness. Trapped in utero. 9 months from birth. His empire? Crumbling via Jax's leaks to the SEC. Affairs splashed on TMZ. Mia, in my body, would raise her child. His prison. I stumbled out as myself again. Body reclaimed in a glitchy reversal. Mia hugging me fierce on the curb. We did it, she whispered. But as sirens wailed distant, Victor's muffled cries from the womb echoing in my head via the link. I wondered, monster or mother. The debate raged in me, dark and unending. The sirens grew louder as we peeled out of the clinic lot. Jax at the wheel of Victor's SUV. Tires screeching like banshees on the rain-slicked turnpike. Mia, no. Me and her skin? Wait. The reversal had glitched hard. I was back in my own body. Lean and unburdened. But echoes lingered. Phantom kicks in my gut like ghosts refusing to fade.
Mia?
Wide-eyed in my old frame. Clutched the dashboard from the passenger seat. Her, my face pale as fresh snow. Layla. What did we just do?
That's
Our nephew in there. With him, Our demon, I corrected. Voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. Jack shot me a glance in the rear view, his tattooed knuckles white on the leather. You two psychos better have a plan beyond. Ruin the prick. Feds'll trace the clinic breach in hours. He wasn't wrong. Victor's reach extended tentacles into Langley. His pharma slush fund buying silence from DAs to senators. But we'd bought time. Hargrove. Zip-tied and gagged in his office, with a thumb drive of Victor's dirtiest deals auto-uploading to WikiLeaks. Blackmail porn. Bribery logs. The hit-and-run forensics he'd buried. By morning, Apex stock would tank. Victor's name synonymous with Enron-level rot. We ditched the SUV in a Newark impound lot, ironic, full circle to my probation days, and hopped a PATH train to Jersey City, blending into the commuter crush. Mia leaned on me, our arms linked like kids again, whispering apologies that tasted like acid. I didn't know about the money.
Lay.
Or the accident. He said you volunteered, that you were protecting the family. Family. The word twisted like a knife. Our Georgia girlhoods, Mom's farm stand peaches. Dad's ghost stories by firelight had bound us blood tight. But Victor slithered in, pitting sister against sister. She'd been 22 when it started, fresh from community college, dazzled by his Hamptons invites. He made me feel seen, she confessed, tears streaking her mascara, my mascara. Controversial? Hell yes. Part of me wanted to hate her, to see her as the homewrecker who stole my life twice over. But the swap had forced empathy, wearing her skin, feeling her loneliness, her misplaced love. Forgiveness?
Not yet.
Accomplice? Absolutely. Jax's safe house was a third-floor walk-up above a halal butcher, reeking of cumin and regret. We barricaded in, laptops firing up like artillery.
All right.
Ladies, Jax drawled, cracking his knuckles. Operation Fetal Fiasco. Step 1. Expose the beast. He patched into dark web forums, seeding Victor's nudes, grainy shots from Mia's phone, time-stamped mid-affair, with annotations, Apex VP's side hustle, knocking up the sister-in-law while wife rots in psych ward. By midnight, it trended on X. Victor Thompson exposed, spiking like a fever. Comments flooded, patriarchy's poster boy falls. To slut-shaming the sister? Y'all are trash. Debatable from jump, was Mia victim or vixen? I didn't care. The mob's pitchforks distracted from the real crime. But Victor fought back, even womb-bound. The neural link, that cursed backdoor, pulsed in my skull like a migraine. His voice a fetal whine, Layla. You bitch. Release me. Think of the baby. I slammed ibuprofen, pacing the threadbare rug. The baby's innocent, Mia pleaded. Hand on her belly, Victor's tomb. We can't let him rot like that. Innocence? I'd borne his sins for years. The courtroom tears faking remorse. The registry listing me as killer. Jobs evaporating because Google never forgets. He killed that family.
Mia.
Drunk. Texting you flirty emojis while I planned our anniversary. Flashback hit. The trial. Victor in the gallery, mouthing I love you as the judge sentenced probation, his eyes already scouting the next conquest. Decision time. The first controversial one. Abort or adopt? No, too clean. Too merciful. We opted for limbo. Jax rigged a jammer, muting the link to static. But Victor's influence seeped through Apex's board. Emergency call from a burner. Some suit named Caldwell. Victor's mentor. Mrs. Thompson, your husband's indisposed. But the project's assets, yours. If you sign silence. Bribe disguised as mercy. I laughed into the receiver. Tell Vic I said hi to the placenta.
Click.
Ally or fool? The line blurred. Dawn brought heat. Cop cars circling the block. Tipped by Hargrove's SOS. We bolted through the fire escape. Jack's covering with a smoke bomb from his prop kit. Old theater tricks. Into a stolen Prius, don't ask. Weaving through warehouse districts to a safe harbor, Auntie's old place in Asbury Park. The Jersey Shore's faded queen. Where Mom summered us as kids. Boardwalk ghosts welcomed us. Salt air thick with memory. Mia crashed on the sagging porch swing. Exhaustion claiming her us, while I scanned news on Jax's tablet. Apex shares down 40%. Victor trending as biotech bros baby mama drama. Buried secret unearthed. The hit-and-run payout. $2 mill to the victim's kin. Funneled from our savings. I'd gambled my soul for nothing. He profited off my fall. But the antagonist's cunning shone through. A drone buzzed overhead. Victor's tech toys. Tracking via implant?
No.
The link. He was puppeteering from inside. Hacking maternal vitals to send distress signals. Mia doubled over. Braxton Hicks or sabotage?
He's fighting, she gasped.
Controversial pivot. Mercy kill the mind. Preserve the child. Jax sourced black market neural blockers from a Chinatown contact. Pills that'd fry the connection like a bad wire. I force-fed them to her. Our eyes locked in silent pact. For the baby, I said. Her nod. Sisterhood reclaimed. As the pills kicked in, Victor's screams echoed one last time. You'll burn for this. Then silence. Sweet and absolute. Relief washed. But guilt gnawed. Was I the monster now? Lobotomizing my husband's soul in utero? Debatable. America loves its vigilantes, Bonnie and Clyde glamour, but hates the gray. We three holed up, plotting the climax, a public unmasking at Apex's gala. Victor's crowning event. Now our stage. Jax forged invites. Mia prepped a speech from Layla's notes, me, the grieving widow. But twist brewed, an encrypted file from Hargrove's drive, auto-sent to my inbox. Victor hadn't just stolen savings, he'd engineered the swap to cover a bigger crime. The hit and run? Collateral. Real sin, clinical trials on immigrants. Apex dosing undocumented workers with untested neural drugs. Frying brains for profit. Dozens dead. Covered as overdoses. And me? Test subject 0. My instability, the smokescreen. The baby? Ground zero for phase 2. A vessel to host elite consciousnesses. We'd halted a monster factory. Rage reignited. Pure jet fuel. Gallo it is, I declared. Toasting with Auntie's moonshine. Mia smiled.
Tentative.
Redemption arc? Maybe. Or just revenge's long shadow. The Asbury Park hideout became our war room. Salt-stiff curtains drawn against the boardwalk's neon pulse, while seagulls mocked our siege with carefree cries. Jack sprawled on the linoleum, dual monitors casting blue ghosts on his face as he scripted the gala hack, live-stream Victor's confession. Pulled from archived neural logs, mid-toast to shareholders. Boom, he grinned, cracking an energy drink. Apex implodes. You two walk with whistleblower checks. Checks?
Nah.
This was scorched earth, Victor's legacy ash. Our scars the only payout. Mia paced the creaky boards, hand cradling the bump. Now a ticking clock at 8 months. The blockers held. No more fetal taunts. But side effects crept. Nightmares where Victor's face bloomed from her navel. Mouthing betrayals. I see him in dreams, she confessed one stormy eve. Thunder rattling the eaves like divine applause. Whispering how I seduced him. How you drove him away. Gaslighting from the grave. I pulled her close. Our scents mingling, her vanilla on my skin, my lavender on hers. He preyed on us both. Sisters stick. But doubt festered. Controversial as original sin. Had I pushed him into her arms with my post-trial moods, my clinginess, therapy flashbacks, the shrink he'd bought labeling me paranoid.
No.
His poison. Prep ramped, wardrobe raid on thrift shops. Me in a slinky black sheath that hugged scars from yoga falls. Mia in Empire Waist silk to hide the evidence. Jax schooled us on the venue, the Met's Temple of Dunder. Apex's annual schmooze fest amid Egyptian grandeur. Irony thick as the Nile. Security Swiss cheese, he said. Drones. Biometrics. But ego's the real blind spot. Victor's ego. Legendary. A TED Talk kingpin preaching neural democracy while peddling mind theft to the 1%. Travel day dawned gray. Jersey Turnpike a gauntlet of semis and regrets. We flew coach to LaGuardia, undercover chic, then cab to the Upper East Side. Nerves electric.
En route.
Mia's water broke. Not full labor. Just a gush on the vinyl seat. Cabbie cursing in Urdu. Hospital. Jax urged, but she shook her head fierce. Gala first. End this. Gutsy. Debatable, prioritizing payback over a niece/nephew's arrival. America mythologizes such grit. Aaron Brockovich in pumps. Birthing justice. But one cramp away from disaster. We stashed her at a midtown motel. Midwife on speed dial via Jax's network, a doula from the activist circuit. No questions. Breathe through it, I coached, sponging her brow. Our roles reversed in this macabre sisterhood. She gripped my hand, knuckles bone white. If I die, tell the kid the truth. Over my corpse. But the line from the motel to the Met blurred with her contractions. My phone buzzing silent alerts. The gala glittered like fool's gold, tuxes and gowns swirling under torchlight. Champagne flutes clinking toasts to innovation. I slipped in solo. Jax's earpiece a whisper. Target at 11 o'clock. Looking smug as hell. No, Victor's body was gone. But his ghost loomed in proxies.
Caldwell.
Silver-haired shark. Cornered me by the obelisk. Layla Thompson? A ghost return. Victor mentioned. Issues.
His smile.
Avuncular venom. Issues? Like framing your protege for murder. I parried. Voice honeyed steel. He blinked. Then laughed. Bold. But proof. Jax's cue. Projectors flickered. Victor's log audio booming. The migrants? Acceptable losses. Upload the wife's breakdown vid. Gasps rippled. Gowns rustling like dry leaves. Chaos erupted. Phones out. SEC whispers. Caldwell lunging for the AV booth. I dodged into the crowd. Heart slamming. When Mia's text hit, it's time.
Come.
Split-second controversy. Bail on the blaze I'd lit. Or let it consume solo. I bolted. Heels clicking marble halls. Hailing a cab through paparazzi frenzy. Apex Gate live tweeting the implosion. Back at the motel. Mia labored on threadbare sheets. Doula murmuring mantras. Jax barricading the door against inevitable heat. Push. Mama. The doula coaxed. But Mia's screams twisted primal. Victor's echo in every wail. I held her knee, sweat slick, counting breaths. You got this. For us. Hours blurred, curses, contractions. The outside world crumbling via TV. Apex rated. Victor's face plastered as fugitive father? They'd spun it. Him vanished. Me the vengeful harpy. At 3:47 a.m., with sirens wailing blocks away, she crowned.
A boy.
Slick and squalling. Victor's blue eyes blinking innocent. We named him Kai C. Rebirth, cradled in Mia's arms as cops pounded the door. Open up. NYPD. Jax palmed his Glock, but I raised hands. Let em in. Truth's our shield. Interrogation at the 19th precinct. Fluorescent hell. Coffee like motor oil. Detectives tag-teamed. Grizzled vets with bullshit detectors. Body swap? Sounds like a Lifetime movie. MS. Thompson. I laid it bare. Affair docs. Money trails. Clinic footage Jax had mirrored.
Mia.
Nursing Kai in the next room. Corroborated. Her exhaustion a badge. The hit and run? Reopened on the spot. Forensics pulled from cold storage. Victor's consciousness? They dismissed as delusion, until Hargrove cracked under plea deal, spilling the neural black ops. But the antagonist's final gambit landed via Caldwell's lawyer, a countersuit, claiming fraud, alienation of affection. Your sister's the gold digger, he sneered in deposition feed.
Mia.
Viewing from holding, shattered. I loved him.
Lay.
Before he turned. Debatable fracture. Was her complicity equal to his? Forgiveness frayed. Bails set astronomical. But Jax's GoFundMe, Sisters versus. The system, crowdfunded it overnight. Viral as the scandal. We surfaced in a Tribeca loft. Courtesy donors. Kai's coup's the soundtrack to our uneasy truce. Media hounded. CNN panels debating vigilante justice or vixen vendetta. I dodged. Focusing the real fight. Custody. Victor's estate contested. His mind a legal limbo. Fetal rights versus. Criminal forfeiture. Climax brewed at the civil hearing. Federal court in Foley Square. Marble halls echoing our footsteps. Mia testified first. Kai on her hip. Voice steady. He used me.
Us.
But this child, mine. I followed. The buried secret detonating. Trial logs showing Victor's bribes. My coerced plea.
Judge.
A no-nonsense black woman from Brooklyn.
Leaned in.
MS. Thompson. You bore his crimes. Now claim your justice. My nod. Throat tight. Not vengeance. Reckoning. Verdict. Apex dissolved. Assets to victims' funds, including ours. $10 mil restitution.
Kai.
Soul heir minus the monster inside. Autopsied post-birth as anomaly. Victor's trace erased clean. Or so we thought. The Tribeca loft felt like borrowed time. Sunlight slanting through blinds like hesitant fingers. Kai's gurgles a fragile melody against the city's hum. 6 months post-verdict. And the dust hadn't settled. Tabloids rehashed Thompson twist weekly. Therapy bills stacked like indictments. Mia and I tiptoeing a sisterly minefield. She'd taken the settlement's lion's share, maternity leave. A brownstone down payment, while I clawed freelance gigs. Yoga vids for insomniacs haunted by their own ghosts. You deserve it, she'd say. Passing Kai for cuddles. His chubby fists clutching my hair.
Deserve?
Debatable dividend. I'd orchestrated the fall. But she birthed the proof. Wore the stretch marks of our war. Jack's vanished post-bail. A postcard from Vancouver. OU beers. Stay fierce. Ally eternal. Ghost in the machine. We leaned on each other. Brunches at Dean and DeLuca turning confessional. Her regrets over Victor's whispers. My phantom pains from the swap. Nights waking in sweats. Convinced I felt her pulse. Like we traded souls permanent, she'd muse. Stirring oat milk lattes. Controversial comfort. Codependence or catharsis. America peddles solo redemption. Think eat, pray, love, but ours was tangled. Roots in betrayal soil. The happy veneer cracked on a crisp October morn. Kai teething and fussy. When the lab report arrived. Anonymous envelope. No return. Apex residual scan. Neural mapping from Kai's baptism checkup. Victor's signature, that fractal brainwave, lingered. Faint but firing. Not dead. Dormant, like a virus in latency. He's still in there, I breathed, handing Mia the printout. Her face draining to ash.
How?
The blockers. Jax's pills. Imperfect. Victor, the mountebank, had layered redundancies. His mind a hydra. Panic's first wave, denial. We burned the report in the sink, watching flames lick lies. But sleep fled. His voice crept back. Not in dreams but Kai's cries, a timbre too sharp. Eyes locking mine with adult cunning. Daddy's home, I'd swear I heard in the babble. Mia spiraled. Therapy zooming accusations. You did this?
Lay.
Your revenge trapped him in our boy.
Me?
The villain now? Debatable dagger. I'd swung the axe. But he'd forged the blade. Decision loomed. The final controversial crossroads. Excise or embrace. Black market neurosurgeons quoted millions. Risk stratospheric. Lobotomize the kid to kill the killer? Or raise him shadowed. Teaching love over legacy? Mia voted nurture. Her maternal fire unquenched. He's innocent till proven. I wavered. Ghosts of the hit-and-run victims haunting. The mom's smile in yearbook pics. Kids' drawings from the memorial fund. Victor's sins. Generational? Twist inverted at the neurologist's consult. A discreet Park Avenue doc with apex ties. Irony's encore. Not Victor, she revealed. Scans projected like doomsday holograms.
Echo.
The transfer fragmented. What's in Kai is you. Layla. Your protective override. The link's mercy flip.
Me?
Trapped echoes in my nephew's neurons? The swap's true reversal. Not punishment, but preservation. I'd borne his crimes. Now cradled his redemption or mine. You saved him, the doc said. Your will overwrote the worst. Relief crashed. Bikarmic. Monster slain. But at what cost? Mia wept. Hugging Kai close. Auntie in the bloodline. Family forever. We debated late into nights. Tragic irony or triumphant loop. America craves neat bows. But ours frayed. Victor's shell a vegetable in state care. Empire echoes funding scholarships for migrant kids. Happy? In fragments. Kai's first word. Mama. Ambiguous as hell. Pointing between us. Years blurred. Kai toddling Central Park. Mia's gallery opening, her photos of fractured bodies. Swap-inspired art selling to MoMA. I relaunched the studio. Reclaimed flows. Classes for trauma survivors. Full moon side-eye from skeptics. Controversy simmered. Podcasts probing did they go too far? But we owned it. Sisters scarred and sovereign. One dusk. Pushing Kai's stroller along the high line. Wild grasses whispering absolution. I felt it. The link's last pulse. A goodbye from my echo self. We did good, I murmured to the wind. Victor? Forgotten footnote. His power pilfered by women he'd underestimated. Revenge's end? Not ashes, but roots stark, debatable, defiantly ours. Epilogue whisper. Kai.
At 5.
Draws a family portrait, 3 figures, intertwined. Aunt lay.
Mommy. Me.
But who's the shadow? We laugh. Evade. Some truths bury deep. Blooming, unexpected. In America's grind, that's the real twist. Survival's the sweetest payback.